Hello, and welcome to Tech 982, the Flipped Classroom. My name is Kevin Scritchfield, and I'm your instructor for this course. And I'm going to make a bit of an assumption here that you've registered for this course, so therefore you must know at least a little bit of what the Flipped Classroom model is, or you may have experienced pieces of it when you taught through the pandemic years of 2020 to, well, for some of you, 2022. Crazy times to be a teacher or a student. But I also don't want any unpleasant experiences from that time to negatively affect your thoughts on the flipped teaching model. And again, if you've signed up for this course, then I'm going to assume that you're at least open to learning and have a positive attitude toward the pedagogies and process of trying to reach more of your students in your classes each day and potentially navigate your way around some of the negatives of full online learning with zero preparation as the lockdowns from the pandemic created. So this course is going to begin by looking at some of the research within the literature of the flipped model, and it'll include some of the studies and so on. Then we're going to move into, at least for a typical flipped model, some of the mechanics of creating videos, different formats of videos, and so on. Then we'll discuss some options of what you might be able to do with all the freed up class time that you're going to have when you don't lecture all day, every day, and what that means for your students. And this truly is the most exciting part of the flipped model, in my opinion. Being creative with activities and lessons to do with your students during class time. That's what makes teaching fun. So we'll include looking at some online tools that you can explore with your students, for you and your students to use, to create new ways to demonstrate their learning to you. And again, I'm going to make an assumption here that if you're signing up for this course or these types of courses, that you're not the type of teacher that just gives written exams to your students. That you allow them to demonstrate their learning to you, demonstrate their knowledge of what you've been teaching them in different formats, different methods, by presentations, by videos, by all sorts of different ways. There's lots of ways a student can demonstrate to you what they have learned. Then we'll move on to what I call the parent and administrator trap, based on my experience the first time I flipped a class of mine. And then we'll put it all together and work on creating some excellent flipped lesson plans. And then the final topic for the course is to do some assessments with your students and within yourself, really, some reflection, and decide if this truly is the best model for you and your classes, or maybe pieces of it for your classes. So I get very excited when I think about all the variables and possibilities of what you can do within the flipped model and how it can truly help students become more responsible for their own learning, as well as all the tools that are out there to help you as a teacher and to help your students within this flipped process. So I hope you're ready to dig in and discover a little bit more about what the flipped model is and what it can do for your students. Welcome to the course.